So there's an entire form of Arabic that we don't typically teach to non-native speakers, partially for mundane reasons, but also partially for controversial reasons. The mundane reason is that it's just not that useful. In the original video, I said that there were 10 forms of Arabic. There's actually 19. It's just that forms 11 through 19 are really, really rare and not that useful. Similarly, form 9 is kind of a niche use. It refers to transforming into a color, to blacken, to whiten, to yellow, etc. There's also another use for it, but we'll get into that. So because of that, it's kind of a niche use, and you don't really need to know it to have a proficiency in Arabic, so many teachers just kind of gloss over it. The more controversial reason is that some people view using Form 9 as problematic, arguably even racist or ableist. Now, I wouldn't go that far, and to be clear, the language is perfectly neutral. The word just means to blacken, the word just means to whiten. There's not an inherent connotation there. The problem is that many people use it in racist contexts. For example, the Arabic phrase to blacken someone's face, which means to feel ashamed or embarrassed. Conversely, many dialects have a form of to whiten one's face, which means to feel proud. These are just a couple of examples, but the list goes on. As I'm sure you can guess, the lighter colors are almost always positive, the darker colors are almost always negative. Things get worse when you realize the other use of Form 9, to describe physical defects. Yeah, you can probably see where the accusations of ableism come in. Take, for example, the term ihwalla, which in a vacuum just means to have crossed eyes, but can be used to mean a pretty nasty insult. Imagine for a second you're an Arabic teacher for non-native students. Do you really spend an entire lecture talking about twisted spines and playground insults and complicated cultural implications between race and color, especially for a verb form that sees very little use outside of classical contexts? Or do you just tell your class, hey, there's a Form 9, but we're going to skip over it. Look at it if you want, but let's just go to Form 10. I studied Arabic at my university as well as at an Arabic institute, and both times they kind of just glossed over Form 9, and I can kind of understand why. It's not because the language is racist or ableist, it's just because it's too entangled with weird cultural stuff and requires a real deep dive to disentangle. So what do you think?